this evening. This is Efren coming back at you with part 2 of our Crusader Kings 2 Let's Play basic Irish tutorial. We are playing right now with nothing but the base game and the Old Gods expansion, which is right now available for free if you subscribe to the Paradox newsletter. If anybody has not already done so, I can post a link in the chat. Just let me know if you need a link to that, but the Old Gods is available for free, so anybody can play the base game plus the Old Gods. We are going ahead and starting in Newbie Island. We started here in this county of Moid. I'm not Irish, so I can't pronounce that properly, but single county. We are now the petty king of Connacht, and we hold a second duchy as well, which is basically Ulster. I can't again pronounce the Irish. We have 5 territories in our personal domain. That's the land that we can hold for ourselves, including the entire Duchy of Connacht, plus the actual territory here of Ulster itself, where it borders on Scotland. We need just, I believe, 3 more territories in order to form the Kingdom of Ireland, which of course is my ambition. I've had 3 children, all of which are daughters, one of which is married to the son of the King of Scotland and brother to the current King of Scotland. He has a weak claim that can be inherited by his successor, and they are in a matrilineal marriage, so at some point, hopefully, they will have a child, and that child will then have a claim on both Ireland and Scotland. And because I have the Tanistry succession law, hopefully I can then make that child my beneficiary, and that person then will inherit both Ireland and Scotland. Our long-term goal in this playthrough is to create the Empire of Britannia, and Great Britain. So that's the plan here, long-term. The short-term goal at this point is to form the Kingdom of Ireland. So I'm going to go ahead and right-click on my territory here. That brings up me as the ruler. To look then at the Kingdom of Ireland, I'm going to left-click on my shield here, which represents my top tier and primary title. That would be, in this case, is called the Petty Kingdom of Connacht, which is essentially a duchy. And then I'm going to check this box right here that says de jure. Pardon me. So if you'll remember, the difference between de jure and de facto is that de jure are the sort of natural borders of different territories when the game starts, and the de facto borders are what you happen to control in reality. But what I'm looking for are the de jure borders. So de jure, the petty kingdom of Connacht, is independent. It's not part of anything larger, or I should say de facto. But de jure, it's part of the Kingdom of Ireland, which is part of the Empire of Britannia. So now I'm going to left click on the shield of Kingdom of Ireland, and then we get some information about what we need to finish creating the Kingdom of Ireland. So Kingdom of Ireland requires that we hold 50%, or I should say 51%, over 50% of the counties within Ireland. Ireland is currently 19 counties, and so I need to hold 10. I currently hold 7, so we need 3 more counties. We also need 2 duchies, which I already have. I need 123 gold, which I also already have. And I need 100 piety, which I also already have. So at this moment, I have everything I need except for 3 more counties within de jure Ireland. Now I can theoretically take those counties from anybody here, but obviously we have some stuff close at hand. So the first thing I will do is I'll look at what we have a casus belli for, a cause for war. We have some weak casus belli that we can pursue. Looks like my son-in-law, for instance, has a claim on the Duchy of Burgundy, and then of course, again, my other son-in-law has a claim on Scotland itself. But I'm not interested in Burgundy or Scotland. I'm interested in being King of Ireland. And so what wars can we make within Ireland itself? Because you cannot just declare war for nothing. You have to have a reason for war. You have to have a casus belli. So as we go to the different leaders around us, there are a couple that I have access to, and actually we can see them in the notification bar up here. So the first of all is a de jure ducal claim on Oriel. So this poor guy right here, Chief Murfin of Oriel, he happens to be a vassal of the petty king of Cislewig, or Slisewig, whatever it is. But again, a duke level title, so there's a Duke of Wales that happens to control Oriel. So those guys, I have a casus belli to take Oriel because it is, again, part of the de jure Duchy of Ulster. So that will probably be our first war target. This guy has about 819 troops available at his beck and call, most of whom are from his personal domain. I, however, have 900 right now. If I wait a little bit longer, that will recharge in a significant way, and I will end up with over 2,000 from my personal domain. I don't know how long that will take. I can left click on any individual county that I own, and I can kind of see who has an opportunity to fill up. So this right underneath the actual picture of the tribe, you'll see on the left hand side the garrison. Those are the guys that defend the county, and then on the right are the levy. So this particular territory of Ulster, because it's recently conquered and has a new administration, we have no levy. So they're not going to really provide us with any troops. The rest of my areas are at least somewhat full. So Brefen has 235 out of 428. These guys are at 294 out of 632. Over here. So we have a lot of opportunity. So these guys can have a maximum of about 1,200. And again, I can field a maximum of about 2,200. My vassals could theoretically at some point provide me with some troops, but right now they're really upset with me. So what I'm going to do then is I'm going to just hang out, and we're going to wait. We're going to wait for my vassal bishops here to not be so upset with me anymore. We're going to wait for my troops to recharge. Hopefully I won't die. We'll see how that goes. Once my troops recharge and my guys hate me less, then we will make our claim for Oriel. The other thing I'm hoping for in the meantime, I have another claim. I have managed to fabricate a claim on West Meath. So I have a personal claim on West Meath that I could go for. These guys have 600 troops to their name, so obviously we could defeat them right now, but I would like to get a fabricated claim on Sildara first. So if I can get a claim on Westmeath and Sildara, I can go to war for both counties at the same time. Bar that, I can attack these guys, which is King Barrett the Drunkard of Suthrijar. Anyways, he's one of the, grandsons of Ragnar Lothbrok? In any case, I can holy war him, so I have an automatic casus belli to holy war for this territory here. He's currently already engaged in a war with Sildara, so I'm going to let that thing figure itself out first. And so for now, we're going to just let things be. I'm going to unpause the clock. We may make the thing go faster or slower based on how quickly it's going. And we're going to hope that I can fulfill my ambition sooner rather than later. I'll have to speed things up here, it's going too slow. And that hopefully I won't die. So I'm going to bring up the military screen here, and we're just going to watch these troop counts go up. See what happens to the war in Sildara here. Let's see, this chick became a Midas touched. Interesting, okay. People have Wessex have progressed beyond our own technological level. Okay, so my spy master, I gave a county to, has stolen technology from Wessex. So that's excellent. Let's see what technology we got. It looks like maybe it was culture. So now we have enough points in culture to go ahead and tech up there. So each of these different techs in culture, the top one gives you an opinion bonus to everybody who's feudal. The middle gives you an opinion bonus to all cities. This one gives you an opinion bonus to all temples. We don't have any feudals, we're tribal. Popular custom, we don't have any cities. We do have religious, but I don't really care about them. They're not very powerful. Majesty has some nice benefits to it, and eventually we'll want to rank this up so that we can switch to Imperial Administration or create an empire. Although, I forgot we don't have all of our DLC turned on this one, so we'll hold off on this for now. But Majesty is always a good candidate. Tolerance lowers the opinion penalty for different cultures and different religions. It can be really helpful if you're playing a cosmopolitan area like within the Byzantine Empire. So if you're going to play in Byzantium and in Eastern Rome, this can be really helpful to make sure that as you bring in foreigners, you don't hate them and they don't hate you as much. And then legalism unlocks different centralization laws. Generally, my number one concern is to bump legalism up as high as at least to level 5, because that's what enables some key law changes. So I think that's what I'm going to do now, is bump legalism up. So that spent most of the points we had, and that's it for technology. And so the idea with technology is that this advancement that you've made happens in your capital county, and then other counties nearby. Watch as I move my mouse from one county to another, the level of technology changes. So again, if I go to Sildara, they have a 2 on legalism and a 2 on infantry. My capital has a 2 on infantry and a 2 on legalism, but if I go to my other territories, they don't. So, excuse me. The idea is that this technology slowly spreads from your main capital territory to everything around it, and then from there to the territories that surround it. You can you can make it go faster based on a number of decisions and other things that you can do, but at the moment we're just going to worry about what's here, because that is what affects my ability to change the laws within my realm. In theory, I could go to medium tribal organization, but not until September of the year 903, if I live that long. On inheritance, again, we're going to keep Tanistry, which is unique to the Irish. So again, we're just going to let the clock run out. We're going to look at how our troop counts are refreshing. We're up to almost 1,200. And we're also going to see that the negative opinion modifier that we get from our vassals is slowly dropping as time goes on as well. So this is the part of the game that can get a little bit tedious, which is just the purely waiting game. Looks like our spy master was arrested by the petty king of Wessex. So I wonder if I can ransom him. Let's take a look. Did he, well, looks like that's not an option that's available. Okay, so time to pick a new spy master. I'm probably going to pick this bishop. I could invite somebody in from outside, but he's got a halfway decent, I don't know, let's take a look. So we're going to head over to the People Finder, which you can find in the very bottom right-hand corner of the screen here. It's called Find Characters, and it has the 2 pictures of the 2 people on it. You can also get there by tapping the period button on the keyboard. That's our shortcut. This allows us to see any character in the world, close enough or not. And so we have to really filter things down to understand who was actually close enough and will join our court or won't. So I'm going to change it to searching all. And I'm going to search the entire world. This little globe icon right here means that that person is out of diplomatic range. They are too far away to even ask them to do anything with me. All right, so first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the diplomatic range to yes. So I'm now only getting people that are close enough nearby for me to interact with. Second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch it to men only. Women are great, but not. I can't have them as spy master according to the laws here. So that's of no use to me. I also don't need anybody who's in prison, and I don't need anybody who is already a ruler. And then I'm going to sort them by intrigue. Now, what I did do before was I switch it to join court, yes. But what that does is it leaves out people who are a maybe. So for instance, this guy, the spy master of Mead, he has a 21 in intrigue, which is just an incredible score. Not to mention that he's Irish. And the yellow hand here means that might be convinced to join our court by a bag of gold. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to right click on his portrait. I'm going to send him a gift, which in this case is 15 gold ducats. His opinion of me has now gone up by 50, so it's not reflected in real time, but if you hover over it, it'll tell you. And so now his opinion of me is positive 62. And now I'm going to invite him to court, and he will come. So we're going to wait until he shows up. And then we're going to make him my spy master. And there he is. And he likes us a lot. And he's Irish. So all these are very, very good things. And now we have to give him a task. So I can have him scheme, either in my home territory or somewhere nearby, which discourages my vassals from doing bad things and hopefully catches any plots and things like that. I can have him build a spy network, which increases the chances of my own plots firing, or I can have him study and steal technology. I'm going to do that. Whether or not I'm going to send him to Wessex, I think perhaps I might as well send him to Paris. Yeah, might as well. All right, and we have a new important decision, which is to ask courtiers to leave the court. So your court, you can only support so many, and if you have over that number, then it costs you extra cash, and it sort of can slow things down. So I'm going to click on my portrait, and I'm going to click the tab of court. These are all the folks that are in my court. Some of these people I want to keep, some of them I don't. So I'm gonna, sometimes opinion doesn't work the way it should, but I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna look at the people who like me the least. My wife is not real happy, but that I need to keep her around. This is a random Scottish girl. Don't know why she's there, but she's a child. I hit B, by the way, to go back to the screen I was at before. She's a child, so I can't really ask her to leave. This guy and his wife, he's a random Scot. Not sure what he's doing there. So he's both a foreigner, and I don't really need him. So I'm going to ask him to leave the court. So I'm just going to right-click and ask him to leave court. And he and his wife are both going to leave, and they went somewhere else to Leinster. So now we're back under, so that message went away. We're back under our court limit, and so we're in good shape. Our troops have risen to the point where I have about 1,572 troops available to me in my own personal domain, not to mention another 45 from my vassals. Why did this guy get arrested? Who's got him in jail? King Ulf of Wessex. Oh, right, because he was my, spy master. Why hasn't he bought himself out of jail yet? I wonder, oh, because he's a chieftain, so it's like 70 to get him out of jail? I need to give him more cash. Well, he can stay in jail. That's fine for right now. So who is the first person that I was hoping to attack? First of all, let's take a look. How's the war for Sildara going here? So what I can do is I can click on Sildara. In this case, I'm going to right click to see the guy who's making the war. And then in this lower right hand area under what's called diplomacy, the dove, I can see the wars that they're actively engaged in. And if I hover over them, it gives me information about what that war is doing. So for instance, they tell us that the war score right now is 13% in favor of Sildara. So he's got 3,000 men, of 2,500 of which are tribal levies, which will disband as soon as this war is over. So I don't want to attack Sildara right now. I also don't want to attack these guys right now. Looks like they are super short on troops. They don't have enough for a tribal army. They can afford to hire mercenaries, so I'm not sure why they haven't done that yet, but we'll wait. Pardon me, we'll wait for their war to sort itself out first, but I might be able to declare war on Oriel. So these guys have about 1,237 troops. They're almost all the way sort of refreshed in their troop count, whereas I have 1,600. Not to mention I have enough prestige that I can buy a tribal army. So I could at this point make my war. I still am at -10 with a couple of my bishops here in terms of having my vassal troops raised. So again, I think we have the time. I'm going to go ahead and just let things recharge a little bit more and let this run all the way down to 0. So that's going to be our dividing line here, is once this goes all the way down to 0. Troubadour and his wife have arrived from Occitania. Do I gain the trait of charitable, which gives me extra diplomacy? Or do I make my vassal bishop like me a little bit better? I'll spend the money and gain charitable. Charitable is not a terrible trait to have. It's not great for your pocketbook, but it works out fine for diplomacy. 2 people eloped, got married without anyone's consent except their own, and it falls to me as their liege to either accept the marriage or do something about it. So we've got this imbecile and this malnourished lady. Honestly, just don't care. She's the daughter of my marshal. This guy is a daughter of this random courtier. I just honestly don't care at all. So I either lose 10 prestige or I imprison or banish them. Whatever. I don't care. They're imprisoned. All right. All right. So the Bon, whatever. These guys way over here in Tibet have reformed their religion. Who is that? This guy, Guj. He reformed the Bon religion. So they've changed some things around about their religion. They're still barbarians though, so good for them though. I forgot we could still reform in the old gods even without Holy Fury. Alright, this dude wants to be my new court chaplain. So he's got a 17 in learning. My current court chaplain has a 16 in learning. Sure, let's do it. And I'll have him build zeal because well, how's the Holy War over here going? I don't know. Looks like these guys are doing their thing. It might take a while to build those guys up, though. Yeah, let's have him build zeal here. Okay, so hopefully I'll get some holy troops, because at some point I can also holy war these 2 counties down here. I have to wait for my ceasefire to be over. I have to wait until 9:06, so it's going to be even longer for that, but we'll see. Also, if he dies, that's the other way that that truce will be over. So I could also plot to have him killed. I wonder. Well, there's some people that would be up for that, but I'd have to bribe a bunch, and I still need to save my money. So we'll wait. If we get to the point where I have troops for that, then we'll do what we need to. But again, let's just kind of wait, and we'll go after Oriel. That's our easy target. All right, we're down to -4. Let's look at our troop count. We're at almost maximum. Wow, now we're at 28. Aha, so what happened was that in Ulster, our 2 negative attributes here, which were new administration and recently conquered, have both gone away, so we're now able to get sort of full levy reinforcement from that. So right now our maximum personal domain levies are up to about 2,800. Alright, we got to steal some tech. Let's see what we got. We got, looks like economy tech, so that's great. And again, at this point, we're just waiting until these last 2 points are down here for our vassals. I have a child that needs a guardian. Who is this? My granddaughter. I will allow her own mother to be her guardian. Or no, my wife. Sure, my wife can be her guardian. That'll be just fine. Once these are down, then we'll make our war on Oriel. And we might not even need to use our prestige at that point. So now is the time. You cannot declare war if your levies are already raised. So if you decide to get the DLC that includes retinues, which I believe is it's the Roman themed one, then you can declare war with retinues raised. But when it comes to levies, you cannot. So you have to declare war first, and then raise your levies and send them where they need to go. So this guy is in a holy war, and it looks like he is winning. He has 1.2 thousand troops. So we've got over 2,000, so we should be able to win this without too much issues. So we're going to go ahead and make a de jure claim on Oriel. So boom, done. All right. I can call in an ally, which would be all my vassals, my tribal vassals. So I'm going to ask them to join the war. And then I'm going to raise up my personal levies. Now, if there were troops in my territory, enemy troops, if you hold down Control on the keyboard, then you only, it actually tells you there, hold control when you click to avoid raising levies where there are hostile armies. So if we had an army in one of my territories, I wouldn't want to raise levies there because they would immediately get defeated and killed, and that contributes negatively to my war score. So holding control, you only then raise troops in areas where there aren't troops already. So I'm going to have these guys just head for Brifen, and then from there we'll march through to Oriel, because I don't know what kind of troop counts he can raise there. Oh, and I'm going to slow time down. These guys look like they are ready to go to war, so I'm going to... Looks like they're going to do their own thing, so hopefully you guys don't do anything stupid. In one of the DLCs, it gives you the ability to tell their troops to sort of join up with you. There's a little like hand icon you can click, and you can say, hey, join your troops to mine. It looks like he's just doing that automatically. And then these guys are going to move here as well. So we should, there we go, the siege is underway. And it looks like we have our vassal tribal allied troops there with us as well. All right, so our vassals are pissed, because of course they are. They need those guys to raise wheat in the fields or whatever else, and so they're starting to get upset that I'm taking them for war. But that's just what happens. That's how it works out. But it's going to be fine. We're still going to win. We just have to wait. And okay, so something important has happened, which is that Sildara won his war for these two territories here. So we no longer are going to be able to use a holy war casus belli on these two territories here. So we need to think about how we're going to gain additional land. After Oriel, we'll still have 2 to go. I have a personal claim on West Meath, but I don't have any other claims that I can press right now. Hopefully I'll get a claim on Sildara and I'll be able to do that too, but my other option is going to be to declare a holy war on King Rethel of Jorvik for these 2 counties down here at the end of Ireland. And that'll be the last 2 that I need. As I mentioned before, I can't declare war on him right now because we have a truce. So instead, I'm going to see if I can have him killed. So I'm going to plot to have him killed. So let's talk about plots. So you can click here on the actual title, and you can go through all the plot options that are available. Murder plots are not the only ones. You can also plot to revoke territories from people. Sometimes you have to hit certain conditions for that. But any character that you see, you can also right-click and say, you know, kill, attempt to kill. The way this works is that when your plot power crosses 100%, you start to be able to take attempts on their life. If you get way more than 100%, then you're more likely to get those plots to fire more often. Sometimes you'll get crazy percentages, 200, 300, 500, 600. So if somebody really hates them, if their vassals or their courtiers really hate them, then you can oftentimes get a plot to fire almost immediately. This checkbox here will automatically invite all plotters who are able to join. But even with that, and I usually recommend just for expediency's sake to go ahead and hit that every time. But even with that, we're not going to have enough. This is the only guy that's going to join us here. These other 2 are going to be worth another 30% between them, but we're going to have to bribe them. So I'm going to send a gift. 15 gold ducats will work for her, and the queen, 15 gold ducats will work for her too. Now they should join automatically, so let's see what happens here. All right, we won our first siege. We're getting ready for our second siege. So I got 1 on board, 2 on board, 3 on board, and we're at 96%. So we're not quite there yet. He is reigning in Stamford Bridge, which is what, here? So what I can do is I can move my spy master over to Stamford Bridge to build a network there, and hopefully then that should boost my plot power by any plots that take place at Stamford Bridge. So now we're at 106%. So hopefully with these 3 backers and with my spy master there building a spy network, we'll get a plot to fire and have him murdered. When that happens, he will then, my truce with him will be gone, and then I'll be able to declare holy war for these bottom 2 counties here in Ireland, and then I'll be able to form the Kingdom of Ireland. I also have some technology that I can upgrade. Um, so this is now economy advances. Castle infrastructure allows you to build additional structures in your castle, things like barracks and training grounds and stables and things like that. Cities and temples, same idea, but now within cities and temples. Improved keeps is specifically built around keeps and castle walls and fortifications. I often will lean on this first because walls are really valuable both to make your territories harder to conquer and also for trade income, and there's a bunch of other advantages to that. So castle walls are usually what I prioritize first. Trade practices have to do with your ability to build trading posts, which is really important if you're a merchant republic, but not so important for tribal like we are. Construction has to do with building buildings and how long that takes and how much that costs, as well as great works, which we can't afford, so there's no reason for that. And then shipbuilding has to do with your ability to build ships. Right now I'm more interested in improved keep, so I'm going to level that up. So we should now be able to build additional structures here, specifically around like walls, once we upgrade to feudal. I'm going to hold off on any upgrades right now. We're going to wait until we're King of Ireland and we kind of have a stronger position first, and then we should be good to go. Pardon me, guys. This cold is just the worst. All right. So our siege is victorious. We got some. Looks like we gained some gold, but we're also losing gold because it costs money to have our troops out. So we've occupied the target territory. That's worth a decent amount. At this point, then we need to either have a successful battle or continue to occupy territory. And if it's long enough, then that'll be the end of the war. Who is this? My wife? Oh, is it that I love her? Let's see here. Yeah, I'll love her. I gain some piety and fall in love with her. She's really old. It's not like she's gonna carry me another kid, but it's nice to have your wife love you. She's less likely to plot against me. All right, Paul MacAlpin, the guy with the claim on the Kingdom of Scotland, just had a son, my grandson, Bran MacPaul. So this guy is my grandson. He is of my dynasty, and I believe he will be my new heir. So I can go here and I can potentially name him. Yeah, because he will then have a claim on Scotland as well. So he'll be King of Ireland, and then again have a claim on Scotland that he can press to. And so that's put us closer to getting the Empire of Britannia. So this happens a lot. Ingrid, who is the concubine of the guy I'm trying to have killed, got drunk and let slip that we're trying to have him killed. And so that doesn't do anything too bad other than the fact that now the guy hates me. So the mother of the guy who I actually want to be my heir is now the new heir. And what I have to do is, if I want everybody to agree with me, I need to bribe them. So this guy here, if what do I have the ability to do? Oh yeah, he's just a baby. They don't like him because he's a baby. Well, let's see then. We'll have to pick one of my other daughters. She is a super great marshal, which is awesome. And yeah, okay. Mirian the Loyal. Switch back to Mirian, and hopefully, there we go. So now she's marshal is awesome. Again, ultimately I want him, but he'll have to grow up a little bit more. So we'll see what happens. All right, I have a small army. Excellent, my steward. You did a great job. So we're gonna have these guys brought on over to help out with our war efforts. So usually once you do that, you either have to declare war pretty close to right away, or you have to disband those troops, because otherwise they'll get pissed if you don't go to war. They'll like carry off some of your gold. Alright, these guys are at war with Maine. Alright, we're gonna have that guy murdered. So this is our current plot, which is that we're gonna assemble a band of mercenaries disguised as highwaymen, and they're going to try to kill him on the road. Hopefully it won't get back to me. So we'll see if it's successful, and if it is not, then we'll see if it's given away that I was the one who ordered it. Hopefully he doesn't lose his war down here, and I can still make a holy war claim for this. But right now it looks like this guy from Hain is kicking his butt, so we'll see what happens here. These guys from Slisawig are on their way down to Oriel. We won our victory, Siege of Ferns, and so now we're going to go fight them. And it looks like we did our duty here. This guy is dead, murdered by highwaymen, and it was never revealed that it was me. Now, if he was smart, he would know, because, you know, we had previously revealed that, but we are no longer under a peace treaty with him. Now, the issue is going to be whether or not he wins his war. Hopefully he does not. Hopefully he gets his butt kicked, and then I can make a holy war for this. We'll see what happens. But my plot succeeded, so great news for all. And we're going to kill these guys. Yeah, they're seriously outnumbered. We're already at 87% war score, and hopefully when I kill the last of these guys off, now we're at 100. So excellent. Our war is a success. So one of the things to note, which is really important, is that when you do a de jure claim, I'm going to send my guys home. When you do a de jure claim, you don't take that territory personally for yourself. You vassalize, so whoever owns it, as long as basically still keeps it. In fact, he's a Welshman, so he's a foreigner. So he kind of sucks. He doesn't like me. Anyways, he keeps it, but I become his new liege. But we are now one county closer to forming the Kingdom of Ireland. So now we have 8. We just need 2 more. 2 more. So I have a personal claim on 1. So I can make a personal claim on Mead. That will put us at 9. Then again, I need 1 more. So this guy right now is involved in a holy war for Muma. I can also declare the same war, but then any territory that's occupied by him will stay with him. So what I'm hoping for is that he loses his war soundly to this kid. No, he won't though, because this guy doesn't have enough troops or any of that kind of stuff. So we might have to seek an alternate plan. Maybe I can at least get 1 county and then take the other one from Sildara. Yeah, man, this sucks. All my best laid plans are not coming to fruition, so it's a little bit of an issue for us here. Alright, these guys are still pissed about their levies, but what are you going to do? And luckily I didn't lose too many men, so I still have a couple thousand guys at my disposal here. This guy, I can declare war, but I would do it for him. So he has a claim on Austriage, but since he is not already landed, that would then make him an independent count of Austriage. So I'm not going to do that. Instead, I am going to wait this out and see if I can get another claim on something, or what happens with this war. If he wins, then I can make the Holy War and I can get 2 for 1. So, looks like he's being sieged right now. So I have a special minor title available. Looks like 2 of my commanders have moved on elsewhere. So I'm going to pick Sean. His marshal is not fabulous, but it's better than some of the other options. And then everybody else either sucks or they're already a servant of mine of some sort. I could put the Welshman in front of the army. He might get killed, but his combat scores are not great. It's not like he's really going to help my army all that much. So, excuse me. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the meat market up here. We're going to find some characters. This time we're going to sort by marshal. So I got a bunch of Frenchmen who won't come. Here's my number 1 guy, 36-year-old Welshman with a 24 in marshal. He's a masterful commander. So he's Welsh, but that's okay. He'll still make a great commander. And I don't even have to bribe him, so that's awesome. And I can just right click on his portrait and I can say appoint commander. And now I have my last commander slot filled. What else? This guy doesn't like me much, so I'm going to give him, I'm going to right click and award him an honorary title. Master of the Hunt, Master of the Horse, High Almoner. I don't want to do Cupbearer because this gives him like a higher ability to have me killed. But I do know who I will make Cupbearer. I'll give him Master of the Horse, that should help. He's down to -1, or up to -1. My grandson and future heir, this guy will be my cupbearer. So I'm going to award him this title. This is going to give him prestige and cash, so that as he gets older, he'll start with prestige, which kind of makes everybody like him a little bit more. It turns out people like my arbitrary nature. I gained some prestige from that. Great. I got some raiders, so I'm probably just going to march them through nearby territories. Boom, 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 boom. I don't think I have enough boats to fit all those guys, so instead I'm going to just march down here and loot everything nearby. We won't get much, but that's alright. I have a court chaplain appointment open, so this guy is going to be my court chaplain. Same thing, we're going to build up some zeal for Holy War. So now we are raiding down this territory here. These guys look like they're working on winning their war. So as soon as that's done, I'll send the raiders home, and then we'll declare Holy War for these last two counties here. Alright, I looted about 5 gold ducats from this territory here. So these little tribal holdings are really not worth a whole lot. You get a lot more money if you go loot something valuable down here in a feudal territory, or if you go down and loot a merchant republic. So if you go after Amalfi, or if you go after Venice, those guys have cash up the wazoo, right? But I'm not necessarily interested in sending my forces away all over the place. I'd rather keep them sort of close at hand. Well, now we have religious recruits, so I have a year, so I have until March of 903, so I'm going to leave them there for now, and hopefully when 903, February of 903 rolls around, I will have the ability to make my holy war for this, so we'll see what happens. This guy has so far been unsuccessful in Sildara, so what I'm going to do is send him for Meath instead. Sometimes I feel like refreshing this gives you a better opportunity to, you know, bribe these guys and get... Oh, see? Look at this. Meath right there. So my work in Meath has come to fruition by bribing and cajoling and extorting and threatening and forging documents. We have a claim. So we are going to use it. It's going to cost us 26.5 gold and 100 prestige, but now we have claim on 2 territories within their land here. You guys can go home. I'm not going to need you now because we're not going to go to Holy War. We're going to declare war on this guy here because I have 2 personal claims. What I am going to do is I'm going to fully loot both of these territories first, and I'm going to fight their armies ahead of time. Because that then makes them weaker and gives them a much more difficult time defending against me when I declare war on them, which is going to happen in a few minutes. So essentially I'm going to go through, I'm going to burn and raid their territories and kill all their troops, and then I'm going to go home and I'm going to declare war and come back and do it all over again. So done. Now we're going to come here and kill these guys off. At least some of them, a couple hundred of them. Siege down the tribe. Boom. A strange chest made of an unknown metal was recovered. Wow, excellent. Strange chest event. There's really not much good in the strange chest. At most you might get, was it 100 gold or something like that? It's not a whole lot. And my chancellor is gone. So we're going to take Sean as my new chancellor. He will no longer be a commander. And I will send him to Sildara if I can forge another claim. Right now I have 2 of the 4. If I can get a 3rd one, again I can press all those claims together at once. So I am 62. Probably what I should do is stop wasting time with this And I should see, I'm going to relieve him as a commander because he can't both command armies and also do this job as well. I'm going to head back to the meat market and I'm going to find another guy. I'll have to refresh this list by picking any of these over again. He's already my commander, so I need to find somebody else that's willing to join. Marshal of Pex, he's both a foreigner and the wrong religion. Who else? Catalan band, Visigothic, German. Anybody Irish? Lombard, here's an Irishman. Commander of the Irish band. Send him a gift and invite him over. Red Rover, send Aircade on over. He'll be my new commander. So I should go home and declare war and just take these territories, but again I want to loot first and make him weaker. Oh, and he was already feudal. Look at that, he's already converted to feudalism, so we were able to actually loot a decent amount. We're up to over 400 gold here, so that's great. And now Meath is next. We're going to take Meath and then we'll head home. And he's got 1,000 troops now. Look at that. So I'm going to pull out all the stops for this, and once this is done here, we're going to head home. I'm going to declare war. And yeah, raiders, go home. Okay. We're going to declare war. Look at this, he's down to like less than 1,000 troops now. I'm going to declare war. I'm going to press my claims for both Meath and Mead. And then I'm going to raise up all my troops. I'm going to raise up my my tribal vassals, my allies, and see if they'll come. And I'm also going to raise a tribal army, so that'll be another 2,500 men. Cost me 500 prestige for that. So we're going to slow time down a little bit here. Bring these guys in. I got 4,500. We're going to head straight for Westmeath. And you guys can head here. And this is all of his troops, I believe, right here. And he is heading, oh yeah, just down to less than 300, so easy to assault. I lost 400 guys, but it's worth it. We'll do the same here. And now that this is fully occupied, I'm going to meet him in battle in Brienne. So we're going to see, so here's the battle going down. And defeated his center. This dude thinks he would be a better marshal. Well, he's not wrong. But I have need of him on the field right now, so I'm gonna say let's wait a little bit. And by the time we kill these guys off here, perfect. So we're now at 83%. Yeah, I need you like with the troops over here, dingle dang. So let's go occupy Meath, and that should be the rest of what we need. And then we'll wait. I don't need to rush it here. It's just a single tribal territory. Let's see. Got it. We're at 91%. Let's head down here and kill these guys off in battle. Oh yeah, look at this. Somebody was offering me a marriage proposal, but I guess they retracted it. Alright, using your foot as leverage, you pull your sword out of the dead corpse of the last foeman to fall by your hand. All around you, the men are cheering as the routing enemy soldiers flee in wild panic. Look at that. And now we're at 100%. We're going to offer peace, we're going to enforce demands, I'm going to gain both of these territories, and now we can form the Kingdom of Ireland. And actually what happened was, not only did I personally gain, oh, did I not gain Westmeath? What happened there? But anyways, oh, I gained the duchy is what happened. Oh, so I gained the Duchy of Mead, which made all of these guys my vassals, and I also gained the personal county of Meath as well. So I gained all 4 of those territories. I had no idea that was going to happen. That's great. Awesome. And now I can create the Kingdom of Ireland. So here we are, folks. I started at age 26. Now here I am at age 63. I've gone from single count, tribal, to owning more than half of Ireland. now about to be King of Ireland. King of Irie. So, a couple things popped up. Number one, as a king now, we have additional titles that we can give and 2 more commander slots. So, Chief of Sildara and Earl of Westmeath both hate me, but I will make them commanders because they have halfway decent commander skills. So we'll do that. What else? Now that I'm a king, I can hold a grand tournament. I will do that as well. That makes everybody like me a little bit better. What else? I cannot yet adopt feudalism, but I do need to nominate a successor. So what I will do is I will try to nominate, again, Bran McPaul. See what my other electors have to say about that. Same here. I will nominate Bran McPaul. We'll see what happens. Now, I do have, unfortunately, 1 too many duchies. So you can only hold 2 duchies personally yourself before people start getting fussy. So I need to hand one of them out. Now, what would be the best duchy to hand out? First of all, that would piss him off. So let's take a look at the de jure duchies. So Mead is these 4 areas here. The person right now who owns the most in Mead is this guy, Sildara, who I took Meath from. He has a claim on Meath. What is the historic capital of Ireland, by the way, anyways? Do we have one here? Let's see, what is it? Occupied by this guy. So in de jure kingdom mode, over here, that's O on the keyboard. If you hover over a particular territory, it'll tell you eventually when you get there if like one of these is a traditional sort of capital, the de jure capital, kingdom capital. So Dublin. So Dublin is the normal sort of de jure kingdom capital. So theoretically, I might want to move my, I might want to take Dublin for myself. And I want to move my capital over here. Keep these 4 counties plus whatever else, especially once I make the move to feudalism. It has, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different holding slots in it. So I can build a lot of things in that county, so that would be beneficial for me. So eventually I will want to move there. What I might do is I might hand out the Duchy of Ulster. That will drop me down in terms of my domain, and I know this is one of the most sort of profitable and valuable that I have, but I can still hand out Ulster to one of these guys. He's in jail. This guy makes better sense. He is married to my daughter, so I will make my son-in-law the High Chief of Ulster. I'm going to keep the actual county for myself, but now these 2 dinglings serve him. So I have now created 1 more powerful vassal who has 2 sub-vassals underneath him. So these dinglings here identify to him or answer to him, and he answers to me. And because he's married to my daughter, he and I have a non-aggression pact, and also I made him what he is. His dad was just chief of Brefen, so you know he would be nothing if not for that. Who's this guy imprisoned by? This guy. Wow, what a jerk. So he likes me a lot. And then these guys over here, eventually I'll find ways to imprison them and have them executed and steal their territory and all that kind of stuff. So we'll work through that in hopefully relatively short order. Alright, so let's go ahead and hold a tournament. It's going to be fun. The tournament begins soon. And pick an ambition, because I don't have an ambition. So I can either have an ambition to have a son or become a paragon of virtue. My wife is a little bit old to be having any sons, and I'll probably be dead soon anyway, so I'll go ahead and just do Paragon of Virtue. We'll see what happens. I need 2,000 piety. I doubt that's going to happen. Alright, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to see if these other independent counts will become my vassals. So this guy, for instance, he is de jure a vassal of the King of Ireland. So I basically am going to go to him and say, I'm going to right click here, I'm going to say, I am your rightful king. And he says, yes, you are. So right here, I both overpower him, and we're the same culture, and I am his rightful king. And so he will bend the knee and vassalize to me. This guy here, let's see, he probably won't, because he is his own, he's a petty king. He only has 2 territories, but he too is a king. And so my guess is he'll say no. Oh, he'll say yes. So if you hover over a yes or a no, you'll get more information about why. In this case, I'm much more powerful than he is. And that's ultimately everything that works in my favor. And again, I'm de jure his rightful king. In this case, what's working against me is that he doesn't like me much. He has a base reluctance score of 3, just in general, and then a small difference in rank. So there's only 1 step of rank in between us. I'm a king, he's a petty king or a duke. But in this case, my power will overwhelm him, and he will agree to be vassalized. And then this guy is at war, so I actually cannot, I can't do anything for him until his war is finished. Now, where is he at? He's losing. I kind of would prefer that he lose, because then I can take these areas for myself, and we'll go from there. This territory, Leinster, is currently owned by this guy who is Welsh, and his title is in Wales, and he will not vassalize to me because I am not his de jure liege. So he's like, I'm Welshman, I am not Irish, therefore I refuse to be vassalized by you. But we're immediately going to expand our realm to include both of these guys here. So that's all done. As soon as we've done that, we now have a title that we can create, which is the Duchy of Leinster. So the Duchy of Leinster is made of these 3 counties here, and now that I own 2 of the 3, I can create this duchy. I can then either keep it for myself, again, which will piss these guys off, or I can give it to one of them. In this case, what I could do, now he owns both of those. What to do? I could still make a de jure claim on this, and then, well, we'll see. I could give it to this guy. He likes me plenty already, although he's maimed. But none of them can create it for themselves. So this is the interesting thing about titles, is that I can create it. I can make someone Duke of Leinster, or Petty King of Leinster if we want to do that. But it doesn't really give me anything, right? I'm not going to give it to the Count of Osriage because that guy already is a duke. He doesn't need 2 duchy titles to just make him more powerful. So no point in giving it to him, although it might make him like me a little bit better, but he already has a plus 29 on opinion, so that's good. What else? I could give it to this guy, but it won't do anything. He'll still only have this single county. He won't gain anything over Osriage because that's owned by the petty king of Mumu. And it won't get him Leinster because that's already owned by this guy, the Welshman. Theoretically, he could then turn around and use that as a reason to go to war against the Welshman. He's trying to kill that guy, that sucks. But there's no guarantee that he'll do that. So for now, I'm just going to let that title sit. I'm not going to do anything with it. Maybe later I'll do something with it, but as of right now, I'm not going to. And again, I'm eventually going to work towards imprisoning and executing and revoking titles from these guys in Westmeath, and eventually I will get somebody else to take this outer territory where I've worked so far, and I will work over here. I'll essentially sort of migrate my territory inwards towards Dublin. For now, I'm going to upgrade my home territory. So I'm going to use all this prestige that I've stacked up to upgrade my tribal holdings. I have a decent amount of cash too, so I could upgrade. This is what you need to go feudal, is you need your hill fort to go up high level, but for right now, I'm going to spend prestige and I'm going to upgrade my training grounds. So training grounds here, Prefen, same deal. Oh, shipbuilder, I need more ships. Take that. These guys here, more ships. I'll take that. These guys, probably the same thing. We'll do ships. Awesome. You guys, more ships. So hopefully, whoever takes over for me, I'll be able to go raiding and we'll go have some fun with all my ships. Meath will build a Gallo Glass training ground. That's good. And I'm going to upgrade his territory. It's not mine yet, but it will be at some point. And so I'm going to start building things up here so that when I take it, it's more built up. So we'll do a... So the Housecarl training ground is because culturally this is like Norse and Germanic. It hasn't been switched over to Irish yet because they just took it, Dublin. So I will not build Housecarl training ground because that's going to go away and be replaced by the Gallo Glass training ground once we turn Irish here. So for now I'm going to have more ships. Awesome. I haven't spent all my prestige yet, which is probably good because then I have some to spend on troops if things happen. Okay, so we have again lost our grandson here, but now again our good daughter, the one who doesn't have a husband again. Jeez, what is going on here? She needs to have a husband. Let's see. This guy's got great stats. This is good. Courtier. Got 12 in diplomacy, 15 in stewardship, and he balances. Those are areas where she lacks, so we're going to do that. Yeah, so now she has her third husband. I have one granddaughter, but hopefully I'll get a second. All right. Or a grandson, maybe another grandson. So we are waiting to see what happens down here. All right, the tournament. A lot of these guys will be tragically maimed and killed and all that kind of stuff. So my son-in-law was maimed, that's too bad. This guy wants to be my marshal. I will take him. And what are we going to do with him? I am going to set him to train troops for now. So we're going to increase the rate at which Meath troops get refreshed. So now that all the troops in Meath will grow and refresh faster. So these lines here, these numbers will fill up faster. We have room for a commander, so I'm going to take the High Chief of Mumu. He'll make a great commander, or at least a halfway decent commander. And I'm going to start handing out some of these other titles. This guy hates me, so I'll get a little plus with him. That guy hates me. Who else? Yeah, that's about all that matters. I'm going to leave the rest of those open. Alright, that guy got wounded. That guy got third place, that guy got second place, my spy master, and then this dude was the winner. He does have 22, I suppose that makes sense. A glorious event, and so I get a +5 with everybody. Alright, so let's see what's happening with the war. Nothing yet. Looks like he's only got 600 guys. And he's got 2,500. So they have yet to meet over here, but we'll see what happens when they do. I have another open commander slot. So 2 open commander slots, my goodness. Chief of Lee. Okay, so we're going to invite some guys. Let's see who's available. Head over to the People Finder again using the period. I'm going to narrow it down a little bit more. I'm going to say my religion. I'm going to say my culture group. So Irish, Welsh, that kind of stuff. This guy's an option, but I have to bribe him, and he's old, and he's Welsh. So he won't like me much, and it'll cost me 15 gold, and I'm trying to preserve my gold. So we're going to maybe see if there's somebody else that's decent. Breton, but he's a decent age, so that's an option. Who else? Another Breton. Another Breton. A Scotsman who I don't have to bribe. A Welshman. Here's an Irishman here, but he's 61. Alright, that guy at the top was good. No, not the old one. This guy. The 19. So I'm going to bribe him. It's not much. It's only 15 gold ducats, so it's not a huge amount. And then we'll go ahead and do this guy too. His stats aren't great, but hopefully he'll get better. He's better than anybody I have now. So let's see this guy, appoint commander, and right click, appoint commander. Perfect. So now our commander slots are filled. Alright. What's going on with this builder? What happened? Shipbuilder was built. Alright. So let's keep upgrading. So these guys have a almost fully upgraded Gallo-class training ground, which is awesome. And what else can we build? A regular training ground or a weaponsmith? Morale and levy reinforcement, training ground, levy and garrison size, so more troops or troops recharge faster, 40 light infantry, 15 archers, 30 heavy infantry. Toss 400 of my prestige. Let's go for training grounds. These guys will probably end up doing the same, training grounds. These guys will probably end up doing the same, training grounds. And these guys will end up doing the same. Oh, actually, we'll do weaponsmith here because they don't have one already. Awesome. Cool. Almost out of prestige. Hopefully I don't get involved in any crazy wars where I need anything major. Alright, I would like to have Dublin, so why don't you go ahead and do that. We'll switch you over to Dublin. Since I have a claim on it, I can go ahead and just revoke it from him and nobody else will be upset. Alright, so I can do a couple things with my laws here. So I hovered over the laws tab, which you can get to from F4, and I went to my realm laws. So there's a couple choices here. I can either up my tribal organization, which eventually has to be at max before I can switch to feudalism. It also allows me to revoke infidel titles for free. So we have revocation allowed already. So if someone is a traitor to me or something else happens, then I can revoke their titles. If I go to medium centralization, tribal organization, not centralization, tribal organization, if I go to medium, then if they are like a Germanic or something like that, I can take them away and nobody will be upset by that. Also then could go to medium centralization. I'm more concerned about centralization. What centralization does is it reduces the number of vassals that you can have, which right now I'm way below my limit, but it increases your personal domain size. So my personal domain would go from 6 to 7, and my vassals would go from potential of 25 down to a potential of 20. I think at this point we see that that is going to be much more valuable to me. This is eventually what I want, but right now it doesn't actually serve me any good, and so we're going to go with low centralization. Now, my guys have to vote on it, and some of these dudes don't like me at all, so hopefully I get enough votes. I need at least 10, and the Lords of Irie have improved. Institution of low centralization. So now this guy is plotting against me. This is great news, because this is a classic sort of Crusader Kings meme here. Because he's plotting, I can attempt to arrest him. And if I fail, which is what I'm hoping for, he will rise and revolt against me. And then after I defeat his revolt, he will be a traitor and I will be able to revoke all his titles from him. So I'm going to attempt to arrest him. I have essentially a coin flip chance. Let's see what happens. And he rebelled, so that's great news. That means I'm going to move this guy. Oh, I can't move him because, anyways. And so now I'm going to raise my personal troops. And we're going to head over here to defend. I'm going to not lead these troops personally. So if you click this little button right here, that keeps you from being a commander. So I'm no longer personally involved in the army. But that's okay, because I'm trying not to die before this is done. I need a new commander, so I'll make Chief of Lee my commander. What else? Oh, and I can call my homies to war with me, so I'm gonna do that too. Alright, I got 1,000 guys here, about to be 2,600, and these guys are on their way. Looks like he has raised some tribal whatevers, which I don't have enough money for. He's got 2,500 of those guys. So currently he outnumbers me. When I get these guys over here, I will be around the same number, if not more. So let's see what happens when they join up. Where are they going? So he's sieging down Meath. Actually, let's put this guy here, and the 19 there, and 16 there. So these are my most powerful generals. Where are these dinglings even going? I do not know. I don't understand. Alright. What I want to do is I want to get all these guys together in Sildara. So I lost my battle for Meath, and these guys are coming for me. I outnumber them by 50. Hopefully these reinforcement troops will come. This guy gets morale defense. This guy has no special traits, and he has morale defense. So this is looking good in our favor. Depending on who his commanders are, again, this battle will end up maybe being kind of a coin toss. But depending on his commander traits, so morale damage, leading the center, that's not good. This guy, oh no, that's my guy. Oh, that's great. I don't know how he got in there. That wasn't the guy I put on right. That must be one of the other armies attached to me. He only has 2 commanders. Flat terrain, so this is flat terrain, so it does get a bonus there. And this guy has no other bonuses in his favor, and then we have nobody here. This right flank already looks like it's collapsing, so then we'll be flanking the center here. Oh yeah, it looks like we're gonna have this problem with this commanderless flank. So we got him good. Killed 900 of his men. I could go take back the tribe of Meath, but I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to stay right here, and I'm going to siege his territory down. He's in a shattered retreat wandering off through Wales and England, so eventually he'll be back, and I'll probably fight him again a second time. We're up to 100%, so we siege his territory. That's all it took, a single battle worth 40% and an occupation. So now we're going to take it. Boom. Now he's in jail, and I'm going to revoke his titles. Because he's a traitor, our vassals will not object. So I'm going to take Dublin first. Theoretically, I should be able to take both of his things here. So I'm going to take Dublin, and then I'm going to see if I can revoke Sildara. Yeah. So he now has nothing to his name. If can I banish him? I don't think I can banish him. I wonder what happens to his money. I want to take it, but I don't think I can seize it. So now I've taken both his territories. I'm going to hand Sildara to someone else, and I'm going to keep Dublin for myself. And then eventually, before too long, I will move my capital to Dublin. Whether that's going to be now or later, I don't know. But that's the sort of historic capital of Ireland, and so I will be moving there soon. But for now, I have one too many territories, and I have to hand something away. Currently, Meath sucks. It's got nothing in it, but it is within the sort of capital duchy. So at this point, I don't need it, and it's my weakest territory. But at some point in the future, it'd be really great to have. These guys, however, Ulster, basically. They are great to have right now, but ultimately are outside my capital duchy and are not going to be super valuable for me. So long-term thinking. So here's the issue. All right, check it out. When you're making decisions about what territories to keep, you want to keep them within a single duchy as much as possible. Because here's what happens. When you have somebody who is in a duchy that you hold, for instance, so this duchy of Mead, which I hold. Everybody who has territory in Mead hates me for it. So halfway down here you can see desires the high chiefdom of Mead. Okay? So anybody who has a county inside a duchy that I hold wants that duchy. Boom, that's number one. Number two, anybody that holds a duchy and doesn't have each territory inside that duchy, de jure, you have an opinion negative to that too. So this guy, overall doesn't matter, it balances out, he loves me, right, my son-in-law, but I get a negative 25 penalty because he wants Ulster. So as much as possible, you want to keep people within their de jure territory. All right, so what makes sense in the long run is eventually to have this guy killed or revoke his territory or whatever else I want to do with this ding-a-ling, and keep all four of those for myself. And for right now, that means giving Ulster to this guy, my son-in-law. So you, sir, I'm going to grant you the county of Ulster. There you go. So I no longer have the opinion penalty, the minus 25, and I get to keep everything else that I just gained. Now, sharp-eyed viewers will also notice that this ding-a-ling down here has made peace. He's won his holy war. Now I should be able to offer him vassalization. Oh, he just doesn't like me. Well, we can either declare war, and I can make a de jure claim on his territory, or I can simply, and I can, unfortunately I would have to do it one county at a time. So that one, that one, that one. Also these guys, this guy has a claim on them. This is actually a way that you can build opinion with this. So like this guy right here, right? The petty king of Mumu. Mumu encompasses these bottom four counties of Ireland here. So that means that since he's the petty king of Mumu, he has a claim on all four of those counties. Like de jure, they belong as a part of him, so he should have some kind of control over them. So what I can do theoretically is I can declare war on this guy to press Mumu's claim on any one of these counties and vassalize them. However, what would be simpler is to simply give him 15 ducats, bring up his opinion, and then offer him vassalization. So now he's going to work for me. Ta-da! Cool, so now he's on my side. And then what I'm going to do, since this guy wants control of them, since again he is the de jure petty king of Mumu, I'm going to transfer. So right now this guy is my direct vassal. I'm going to transfer his vassalage to this guy. I'm going to say transfer vassalage. This guy from Humane, and it only selects this single county, but these other two are going to go with it too. And then voila, now he controls personally 2 counties of his own, and the other 3 belong to this ding-a-ling. He answers to this guy, and this guy loves me a lot more because I transferred somebody to him, so I get a +10 for vassal transfer, and I no longer have the negative of holding on to somebody that belongs to him. So we have all but 1 county of Ireland. Huzzah. I no longer need this guy here, so I'm going to try to get a claim on this and be able to revoke that. And then at that point we can figure out what we need to do next. Ultimately I would like to up my centralization, but I will not be able to do that with this character. Right now we have almost, like I said, almost all of Ireland united under us. The last one is Leinster here, and I can't declare war on this guy because we have a truce, and if I was to break the truce I would lose a whole bunch of prestige. So what do we do instead? Well, I'll tell you what we do instead. We raise up our boats and we go looting overseas, and we bring back a ton more money and prestige. Now right now I don't have enough boats. I will eventually, but for the moment at least I need more boats. Let's see here. Dublin tribe, let's upgrade these ding-a-lings. We will build a war camp. Okay. And since these guys are still Norse and Germanic, what I will do is I will change what my counselors are doing. So the first thing is I'm going to have my steward settle Irishmen into this, and we will increase the rate of switching it from Norse to Irish. I will also send my court chaplain to convert them and proselytize to them. So we will change them from Norsemen, or Slavic pagan, or not Slavic pagan, but just pagan, Germanic, to Catholic. I could also use this as an opportunity to secretly convert to Germanic, do like an Irish tribal pagan playthrough. It doesn't make sense for this character, but if you have a county within your domain that is a different religion, you can right click on the shield up here and you get an option to secretly convert to that religion. That is available both if it's in your domain and it's another religion, or if it's a holy site of that religion. Let's switch to the religion view real fast here. Any particular religion you have selected, what you see in white here then is a holy site for that religion. So for Catholics, you have Kent and Colne and Rome and Jerusalem and Santiago. If I hold those, then the moral authority of my religion is higher. If it's Germanic, there's Paderborn, Sealand, Uppland, Nidaros, and one more. Zealand over here. These guys, if I hold them all, then I can reform the pagan religion, and it takes on, it becomes able to sort of withstand the onslaught of Catholicism. But at least for right now, I'm going to stick with Catholicism, and we're going to try to play a Catholic playthrough. So this should be able to take, what, 1,400, 1,700 troops. And right now I can field eventually up to 3,600 or so. So I'm going to wait until my troop counts refresh before we start playing around with raiding at this point. And then we'll go loot some valuable Muslim territories. Training grounds have been built. Let's see. We have a marriage proposal. So he wants to marry this prince to this random courtier. Well, I don't know about that, man. Prince of France? How about instead we betroth her to my 13-year-old granddaughter? Does that make sense? Let's do that. So let's arrange a betrothal between him and my 13-year-old granddaughter. Excellent, and then that will get me a non-aggression pact with France. We also, he needs a guardian, so I will be his guardian. Perfect, since I want him to be my... Oh, you're down for that. And then, in theory, now that we have a non-aggression pact, I could form an alliance with France. Isn't that, Really? You find it insulting? Are you kidding me? Wow. Alright, well, I guess screw you, buddy. Look at this, guys. Look at this. Single lifetime. We went from a single count to an entire kingdom. This is great, man. This is what we were hoping for. From here, then, we, want to form the Empire of Britannia. Basically, Great Britain. Let's see. I was one of the first to saddle my horse and chase after the bandits. When I returned, exhausted with filthy clothes, I was told the old priest had simply misplaced the chalice. I gained some piety for that, so I'm about to hit 1,000 piety. Probably won't hit 2,000, but it is what it is. Alright, where are my boats at? I got all my troops. My boats are still... Caught young Ward Brand torturing a rat behind the stables today. So, cruelty sucks. Your vassals don't like it, but it helps you in war. You get intrigue, but you get a minus to diplomacy, and you get a plus to personal combat. Do I beat him? Do I try to teach him about kindness, or do I pray for his soul, and probably nothing happens? Well, let's see here. I'm pretty arbitrary. So... brave, honest, charitable, gregarious. Yeah, let's try to teach him about kindness. Let's see what happens. Didn't work, but at least he lost cruel. Alright, that's something. about this guy? Are you plotting? No plotting. I can't revoke. Why is that? Oh, because we have a truce, because I declared war on him and I beat him, so we have a truce, so I can't revoke. What can we do? We can make a claim on Gwynedd. I can... yeah, but then we have a peace. Scotland. I can declare war on Scotland. Powys we can take Gwynedd. See, I write to you with bad news. My efforts to root out heresy and convert the population have met with resistance. You think the peasants are going to revolt? Well, that is really too bad. Super unfortunate. So 24, that should be 2,400 troops that you can fit in all of our boats. Okay. Yeah, so you'll notice that Ulster here, he moved his capital over to the sort of traditional capital of Ulster. Alright, the kid is arbitrary. So I'm arbitrary. So I think that we're going to stick with that and give him a pat on the head. Nice job, buddy. Do whatever you want. You know, if you're going for min-maxing, obviously arbitrary is not a good trait to have. Like, not good at all. But for the role-playing aspect of the game, I'm arbitrary, so why can't he be arbitrary, right? Okay, let's see here. Do I have enough troops, enough boats to fit my troops? So we have a little over 3,000. We have about 3,700 troops. Still need to, playing daring games. Alright, 95% chance that he gains brave, and 5% chance that he dies. Or I could try to limit them. We end up with humble or honest. Humble is okay. Honest is decent. Brave is the best, but there's a risk of death. Let's take a risk. He got brave. Good. Alright. Don't want him to die. My wife died. Alright. So my granddaughter is now of legal age. And I will... what am I going to do? I'm going to matrimony marry her to this spy master of the Holy Roman Empire, who is a genius. Excellent. And her mother has a new husband, so that's good. Hopefully we can get some genius genes in there. Alright, let's see if that works. If you're down for that, perfect. And now I have this genius dingling at my court. He is an excellent intrigue, but he doesn't like me much because he's a foreigner. He's envious. But let's see what we have a 21. That is way better, so we'll just keep him around. He's a good genius to have. Ultimately, we want our heir to be a genius at some point. Alright, so I keep thinking about my wife. She was the best of wives, and without her I do struggle to be the king. Oh, how I miss her. Wenching might make me forget her. Which 90% chance I gain lustful and a 10% chance I gain incapable. Or I can gain depressed and celibate. If I gain depressed, I can commit suicide, which would then make me into my daughter. I really want him to be the heir. Let's take a look if did I choose him? Yeah, I'm the only one that's chosen him so far. My other Tannists are not into it. My candidate has a negative 70. He's evil? Why do you think he's evil? Seriously. He's evil? He's not evil. He's just a little arbitrary. What the hell, man? Unbelievable. We're gonna go wenching. What happened? Yeah, I got lustful. That's great. So anyways, I need a new wife, is what's going on. Not that I'm gonna have any kids off of her, but having a new wife would be a plus. Let's go based on stats of this bohemian lady. That's fine. Oh, but look at his prestige because she's so low-born. Alright, well, somebody else then. How about this one? No. Anglo-Saxon courtier in Derby. French. Yeah, okay, that'll work fine. This French lady. There we go. Right, and I can try to have a son. She's young enough. She's 28. She's gay, so it's not likely to happen, but we'll see. I'm lustful, so maybe my wenching will put a son on her. Alright, let's see. You want to arrange a marriage between this random girl and yourself. That's fine. Joy. Alright. Where my boats at? Boats, 32, so I got 3,400, 3,700. Commander title. We'll put Genius Boy out there. Alright, I wish to intercede on the behalf of one of your prisoners. Surely a shower of mercy would please all of your vassals. I will diplomatically explain why I cannot, but that does remind me that I have 7 people in jail. So I can banish them and hopefully get some money from that. 2 gold from him, 0.1. She's worth nothing. We'll put her in house arrest. This guy's gonna be worth nothing. He's worth nothing. 0.1. She's worth 67. I'll take her 67. And you two, this is random Norseman. Can I have him executed, or is that, no, people won't like that. I'm gonna throw him in the oubliette. This is like basically a death sentence sometimes. Sometimes people live for years and years in the oubliette. And your dad, I'll just release you. There's no reason to banish you. Alright. And then this girl here. Where's this guy? Oh, I'll release her. There's no reason to keep her in prison. Alright, cool. Alright, we're up to 318. I died. Here we go. Boom. King Dubda has given up the ghost at age 69. Ah! He died a natural death, a shining example of diligence. His duty was never neglected. A godly man, Dubda is with the Blessed Virgin now. So now we are a queen. My daughter is currently the heir. I will not be selecting my daughter. I will be selecting my nephew, who is in line to be King of Scotland. I will pick an ambition. In this case, I would like to improve some of my own statistics here. I'm incredible in my martial, but what I would like then is to improve. Let's see, let's start with improving my intrigue. That's going to be the one to accomplish first. Whoremaster. Oh, evidently I like to go to the brothels. Okay. I have to reappoint many of my counselors. This happens on succession often. And we'll take this guy. We will train the troops here. And Modi, we will fabricate a claim on here and revoke it from him. Oh, and this guy doesn't need to be there, so I will study technology in Wessex. And we'll keep these guys working over here. Alright, I also have 2 commander slots that are still open. So let's see, let's hit the meat market again with the period, and we'll see who my area is willing to join. I got a Welshman here, take him. And the Scot right here, we'll take him too. As soon as those guys show up, alright, Tanist Brand, let's hope it stays that way. Nope, they didn't like it. How do I change their opinion about Tanist Brand? So, assign Guardian to a menu. He's got a claim on Scotland. Come on, you guys, why not? Isn't that evil, dorks? I need a designated regent. So, let's find somebody who likes me a lot and has a decent stewardship. That would be this guy here. And who did they pick? They picked my daughter, who's married to the genius. I mean, could be worse. Hopefully she's got genius kids, you know, so it could be a lot worse. It's gonna make it harder to get Scotland, but yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. Alright, where are my boats at? I got 35 boats, and I got 39,000 troops, 3,900 troops, almost 4,700. I can do up to 5,700 eventually, but right now I'm just not capable of that, right? Let's take a look. What do I got here? 38. I'm hitting the X button to disband these boats. I can arrest somebody. Moo. What's your deal, Moo? Plotting to fabricate a claim on the Kingdom of Irie. Guess what, dude? End your plotting. I don't want to hear it from you. You're a jerk. Ah, good. I don't really want to go to war with him. Be content with visiting the church every other Sunday, but if I don't show up, the priest scolds me and tells me I should set a better example for my subjects. Okay, so I gain some piety. That's good. Oh, I can adjust the laws. So let's see here. I can up the tribal organization. Let's see what happens here. Alright. So hopefully we get improve the institution of medium tribal organization. Excellent. So, and I can move up to medium centralization in 10 years. So in 10 years I can increase, why do these guys want to vote for her? I don't understand. You guys are ding-dongs. Maybe if I try to bribe them, that guy's not gonna help. Send a gift to him, send a gift to him, send a gift to him. Luckily these guys are all cheap to bribe. Guys, switch it up. Come on, support my candidate. No, they won't do it. Maybe when he gets to be an adult. Who'd I lose? My marshal. Idwal died a natural death at age 46. Well, medieval times and all that. Alright, this guy, who I guess can no longer be a commander, but so it goes. We'll take him as marshal, and we'll make this bishop a commander. Oh, I can, however, take Leinster. So, this guy have the ability, he's got only 1,400 troops, so I can make a de jure claim on Leinster, so I'm going to do that. And we are going to raise up all these troops, and I'm going to do it myself. I don't need to bring any of my vassals over for this, so they won't get upset with me. Hopefully this will whittle the number of these guys down a little bit, so that I don't have to worry so much about it. Let's see, yeah, that's fine. Alright, so we have a little battle going on right there as is my enemy. I've already collapsed this left flank. As they do almost, so hopefully that should go our way. We lost 59, they lost 574 men, so again, I think this is going to go our way. Alright, our dude did the job. He converted Dublin to Catholic. So now they are Norse Catholic, but that means that he doesn't have to be there anymore. This guy with a 7, my goodness, I don't have anybody better. What are we going to have you do instead? Well, let's have you have any other areas nearby where we can have you. I can try to send you over here to convert the heathens. Or I can send you to make friends with the Pope. So we're going to do that instead. So we're going to send him all the way to Rome, have him carry our message of goodwill to the Pope. Let's see how that works out. I don't need him for much of anything else. Alright, I have enough prestige that I can start building stuff here again in Dublin. Eventually I'm going to want to upgrade it to wooden hill fort and stone hill fort and all that kind of stuff, but for now at least we'll use our prestige to upgrade things. Things quickly got out of control as my soldiers stormed the gates of Leinster tribe. This event sucks. I'm gonna try this and see what happens. Hang the culprits. Do I get strong leader or weak leader? I got strong leader, so that's good. So it comes up far too often, even like when you're raiding and stuff, which should not. I fulfilled my ambition to improve my intrigue. That is great. So now I'm going to try to improve what's closest. Stewardship. Let's do stewardship. See what happens from that. I could make it my goal to have a son, but I'm 43, and around 45 you start to lose fertility if this game is a woman. So doing that is low. Alright, not only did I win, but I captured the Chief of Leinster. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ransom it back, get 70 gold for it, and then I will make peace. Because if I make peace first, I'm pretty sure he's released. So I'll take the 70, then I'll make peace. Ta-da! Alright, now I have a compelling reason to form this duchy. So let's see here, is Austriage is now independent. Excellent. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to form the Duchy of Leinster, and I'm actually going to give it to this guy in Austriage. Not because I have any good reason or because I like him for any particular purpose, but it'll split him out and it'll make the Moo guy lose power. So I'm going to give him, because here's the way it's laid out right now. So if you hit the F key on the keyboard, otherwise known as direct vassals, you can see how things are based inside your realm. So me, myself, and Irie, I own all this dark area. Moo owns these two, and then of course there's a Moo or Monster Revolt, okay, that are fighting against him. They have some sort of battle over council power or something stupid like that. Oh, he has a claim on it. But he also holds control over Austriage. If I make Austriage a duke or a petty king or a high chief or whatever you want to call it, then he will then be the same level as Moo, and that takes away from Moo's power. So I'm going to give him, what is it? Dragon. Boom. So now, this guy likes me a lot. The power of Moo has been reduced, and these guys are in their de jure borders again. I lost a commander, but so it goes. Another 7. Man, these guys with their 7s. Alright, what do I have here? This Welshman. He's almost 60. That's that same guy from before. I'm just worried that I'm going to pay him money. He's going to die soon. I'll take this guy. He doesn't have any special commander traits, but he's only 42, so that should be okay. Alright, he will be a new commander. So these guys are now going to go raiding. So what we're going to do is we're going to raise all the boats. I'm going to click on one boat first, hold shift, and select all the rest of the boats. And that way then we only get the boats and we don't get the troops. We're going to have them all get together up here in Ouidier. Again, these guys are already in looting mode, so that's great. So we're going to hit the V button to hop on the boats. We are going to go a-raiding. So let's take a look here at what is going to be valuable. There's some good land here. Max loot of 60 something. These guys have some decent loot. A lot of it's protected by the fort. These guys have a lot of really good loot. 92. So let's head down there. Head down to the Straits of Gibraltar. Loot these dinglings down here. Alright, we're going to come back with money and prestige. Maybe a few captives? I don't know, we'll see. Let's see how it goes. Alright, you guys go to Tangier. Let's see what we can get from Tangier. So we are losing money, almost 20 per turn. Pretty soon we're going to totally run out and we're going to go into deficit, but it's completely worth it. And the reason it's worth it is that we're going to bring home, let's see, this dude, he has, nice, we changed it to Irish. So now Dublin is Irish. So they have now changed to Irish Catholic. Excellent. So now I can send him to do something else, like build my legend. Not that I need him to do that, but God, what else am I gonna have him do? It's the only thing I guess that matters. So this is a big raiding army here, and again, it's costing us a lot of money. Alright, into the scriptures. Yeah, make them zealous. That's perfect. Let's see here. Hopefully some of that cash went to me. So we got 11 right away here, and 28 went to the boat. So whatever we're losing here, we're gonna make it up once we get back. Ooh, we got a claim on Westmeath. So now we have a claim on Westmeath, which allows me to revoke it from this ding-dong without anybody being upset. And he will say yes to that. Well, it'll put us over our domain limit, but it'll get rid of this ding-dong, who sucks super bad, and help figure out our issues here. Boom. So, awesome. Now I'm going to have him improve diplomatic relations with this guy. And it is feudal, so we're technically of the wrong holding type, but we'll just deal with it. Again, we're over our limit, our domain limit. It gives everybody a -10 feeling towards me, but we'll just hang on to it for now. Okay. So hold up to 440 loot here. We're in strong deficit, but ultimately it's going to be worth it. So just keep sieging until this is done here, and then we'll head over to Sebta. Oh, time to run away, guys. So that is not their territory, so they're going to leave me alone. The guys, however, from down here are going to make trouble for me. God, we're down to -120. Kill these guys off, it looks like. I want to try to avoid battles when raiding whenever possible. There's just too much chance for things to go wrong. So if I weren't on super fast time... Yikes, speaking of which, let's run away. So he's got 5,000 troops. Are these guys independent here? Well, if not independent, then at least... 250? Should we go home first and then come back? Or should we just head over here? This guy can't come anywhere close to me right now, so let's go ahead and take care of this first. All his troops are way over here. This is his territory, so we should be able to at least knock down a few of his buildings first. Up to 314, 315. Okay, 383. Another couple territories here. 385. Alright. 431 out of 440. Tome of Judgment. Alright, to improve my stewardship. Yeah, let's build a Tome of Judgment. 431. So we're almost there. Pretty soon here, we're going to be full at 440. Oh god, 8 gold ducats? 7? Let's get out of here. Time to head home. Take our economy out of the toilet. Then maybe we'll go get some more. Although, it's not really going to make much of a difference. We're at 64 now? Yikes. What is it that's costing me so much money? I wonder, is it the boats? No, yeah, it's the stinking boats, man. Look at this. Holy jeez. Troops are actually relatively cheap. It's the stinking boats. Wow. Alright. Well, should we go raid, what, Scotland? I suppose we might as well. I have a new heir. Well, lovely. This guy's finally getting some more votes. My sister is not. Come on, look at him. He's patient, zealous, brave. Only because he's arbitrary, you guys aren't into him? It's ridiculous. So the cupbearer. Isn't he still? No, he's not. Won't make him cupbearer. You want to marry off her to him? Sure, go ahead. Stepmother. Alright, we have another, my grandson. Oh, a genius. CK2 stewardship. So, God, he might be way better. Yeah, my grandson, the genius. I think maybe he is going to be a much better option. Cool. Genius gives you like huge pluses. Oh, and look at that. I'm up to 8 domains, so I'm under my domain limit. That is fabulous. So great news. I'm no longer over my domain limit. I need another commander, so I'm gonna have to invite someone. Man, this Brett guy. This guy, Commander of Legin. Take him. Oh, we loot Scotland. You'll show up. Awesome. You're now a commander. Okay. Looting. Alright, we'll go loot Argyle while we're at it. These guys are pagan. So we'll go kill off the pagans. Let's see here. The church wants to collect an extra tithe. I either piss off my vassal bishop, or I increase the local revolt risk. I will increase the local revolt risk, because I'm not worried about revolts from the peasants. Doesn't bother me at all. Hey, the Pope likes me better. That's great news. Strong leader, improved relations, state diplomacy. I'm up to 36. Way to go, Mr. Pope. Alright, looting, 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 looting. The pagans, we got 34 more from that guy. Alright, let's head down and loot these guys, the Welsh. Oh, who can I arrest? Momo again. Stop trying to have people killed. Actually, who are you trying to have killed? Rando guy? Cut that stuff out. Alright, yeah, you're gonna give up your plotting? Good. You can also tell people to automatically stop their plotting. So, end plot. But there's another opportunity, which is that, like this guy here, I can have him arrested. He's not my direct vassal, so he won't rebel against me. If anything, he'll take off to another court. But if I were successful in arresting him, then I would be able to then ransom him for some amount. This guy is not in my kingdom. This lady is not in my kingdom. She was married to the king of Sleswig. So I can't end their plotting. Make the Pope like me better. Great, keep it up, dude. Popes are fickle, so, you know. You like this guy, like me better. Alright, good. My steward has raised an army. Well, I don't necessarily have anyone that I can declare war on right now, I don't think. Let's see here. Can I do have a weak claim on, or at least people I know have weak claims on a bunch of stuff over here, but nothing that I can personally keep within my empire. Yeah, Duchy of Gwynedd. I have all these guys who have claims on Gwynedd or Powys. Powys would be the one, because that's the big one over here. But none of those dudes have actual, like, territory here for me. And so they would just become independent, like kings, or dukes, or whatever they were. What is this? My nephew inherited. Is this the guy with a claim on Scotland? No. But he he's the new High Chief up there. Okay. The new steward. Oh, I guess I'll take this guy. And it looks like I need somebody else who likes me to be regent. So, about my daughter. Alright. How about nominating my genius grandson? Anybody up for that? Well, we'll see. No? How about nominating my daughter instead? My sister, daughter. Yeah, alright, I'd rather my daughter. I'd rather it be my grandson. Alright, this dude is a misguided warrior, my nephew. See the guy who has a claim on Scotland? Yes, he will have a claim on Scotland. So, my misguided warrior guy here, you need to marry somebody. Do we marry you off to a princess of the Byzantine Empire? Do we marry you off to a local chiefess? A princess of England, perhaps? It's not a bad idea. I'll have a claim on England that way too. Princess of England. That's not a bad idea at all. Get a non-aggression pact with England, which I don't really need or want per se, but I'll take it. Now what happens if I try to nominate Bran now that he's a grown-up? So, anybody up for Bran action? No, he's up to 3. There we go. So Bran is now my new heir. And again, he will be the one who has a claim on Scotland here soon. Before he gets his claim, though, I have to murder his father. And then after that point, then we can make a claim on that. So, long-term plans are what they are, but I guess him being an adult really made the difference there, so that's good. And we have looted these guys heavily enough. So these guys we're going to send home. You guys can head home too. Alright folks, I am going to end it there tonight. We have hit our midterm goal of creating the Kingdom of Ireland. We are playing as our second character after our first character died a natural death at the age of 69. He was lustful at the age of 69, no less. We have a personal domain of 8 territories, the entire sort of middle of Ireland, everything that composes the duchies of Meath and Connacht belong personally to us. And the other duchies, one of which is filled with our nephew, so that's within the family, and we get a bonus for being in the same. Hey, thank you for the follow. Really appreciate it. Deus Volt, God wills it. God wills it. God wills it. So appreciate the follow. And then our other 2 high chiefdoms, or duchies or whatever, petty kingdoms, are also in their sort of de jure territory. So great to see that there. Next stage will involve a couple different things, which will be pressing my heir's claim on Scotland. We'll probably want to die first before we do something like that. But my heir, well, and of course his dad has to die first as well. But he will end up with a weak claim on Scotland that hopefully we should be able to press on somebody. And then after we take Scotland, then we'll be in a position to start really filling this out. I could probably also make some holy wars. Yeah, so this is another option. Sudriar, Strathclyde, I can start pushing up in here and fighting the heathens. So that's another option. He's got way too many vassals and not enough troops. Olafur the Wicked of Viken was what, great-grandson of something, Hidmark, I don't know. But yeah, we'll continue this another night. But thank you for tuning in, and thanks for the follow. This is Efren signing off.